What's what's hi? How are you doing? What's up? What's up? That's what I was trying to say. What's up? How you doing? Um, so this is a night series between me and Yolochicky. Funny name that is. Yolochicky. This is a nice series. We played on 8 game. This was before Offside was a starting map. I'm just lazy and or busy and or both. So this is our night series. What happened? I know what happened. I know what happened. I don't want to tell you though. Watch the video. Um, so this is our night series. That's the third time saying that, just in case you forgot. We play a game as always. We're trying to get lives. We both go farms. This is before I made up my new strat, but we both go farms. I'm being a little greedy, you know, not having 3 dart monkeys before round 6. Not the safest thing in the world. So I'm being a little greedy, losing some lives here and there. But all in all, I'm not doing that bad. So, what is his name? Gia. That's what I want. His name is Gia Well in the chat, but Gia Well or Yolochicky is also being a little greedy. He only has 2 farms by round E. That's no good. And so he builds. I send him some yellows, and I send him a rerush, some leads and pinks. He sends me some leads, which just eats my lunch. Ate all my lunch, just went all through my defense. So it's not looking good for me, I will say this. But I think I'm ahead in farming. And then he sends me a small Rico Zebra Rush, which I just micro a quick defense for. So I think I am, let's see, I have 3 farms. He has the equivalent of 3 farms, so I now have 4 farms, so I now have 5 farms almost. But yeah, I have like 2 more bananas than him. I send him some leads. He gets up a cannon, but he still has to use battle energy. At which point I send him the Chauncey Special Sneaky Edition. You know, send him some camos. Camos, I only send camos when I know somebody has good lead or group popping power, like a boomerang or a cannon, or I don't send it against Ace because Ace can see camo, but if it's boomerang or cannon or ice, because I've seen people use ice I've seen someone use ice really efficiently, and it actually kind of surprised me. But so yeah, I only use like the Chauncey Special Camo Edition when somebody has a good lead pump power tower. So Gia does not have a good defense here, and I re-rush him because I just felt it would work that time, and it did actually, because he's being greedy, I was being greedy, but I was still ahead of farming. So we move on to Hydro. I forgot whether this was our 2nd game or 3rd game, because spoiler alert, I lost the 3rd game or 2nd game, whichever one you want to pick. So we only have 2 games right now, but just another spoiler alert, I won that game. So you know, don't be too upset with me. I'm using my boat strat. This strat is actually, I'm still working on it kinda, but since I don't really play Hydro that much, I don't use it that much, so I'm not that good with it. But I'm still working on it. I've actually gotten a little bit better with it. I know now to upgrade, but not to upgrade with the hat by what round, so it's a work in progress. It'll be good soon. It'll be really, really good even soon after. So G is going to eco, and whenever somebody goes eco against me on Hydro, I just get all giddy inside, because you know what? You know what that means? That means this game is going to end round 13 most likely. So I just go with the flow here, and I just defend his eco balloons with my boats, my beautiful butterfly poon. I don't know where that came from. With my beautiful Boatley grape shot. Of course, I check the chat while playing Gia. You know why? Because I give him no respect. No respect. That could have cost me the game. Don't do that ever. Don't check the chat when you're playing somebody in a night series. You might lose. But I didn't lose, so, you know. I felt good about it. Uh, I have four bolts. I think in my eyes bolts are equivalent to dart monkeys. So four grape shot bolts can really defend a good amount of rushes. Actually, no, 4 grape shot bolts are a little bit better than dart monkeys, really. He sends me a rush that I try not to use my battle energy on, but I eventually do. But he wasted a lot of money doing that rush, in which case I sent him some regular zebras, which he uses battle energy on, and he only has 2 boomerangs, but you need 3 to defend a good size Rico Zebra rush. So I win this game, and that's the end of that video. So GG Gia. Hi. How you doing? It's GOL. He's pretty good. I think he joined not too long ago. He's really active. He's really active. He has a lot of points for somebody who joined, like, I think it was what, 2 or 3, one or 2 weeks ago. But he joined fairly recently. So for him to have all these points and be able to challenge me Knight is pretty impressive. Analyzing his game, bit greedy, but most King of the Hill players are. And of course, this was way back in this was a while back, so he might have improved by now, but he was a bit greedy there. And if you're going to be greedy, this is not to just Gia, but most people. If you're going to be greedy, you better have really, really good micro. And Gia had good micro because he had cannon, but if you're going to be greedy, you have to think about what your opponent could do to you on what round. That's where round awareness comes in, because greed helps. Round awareness helps you be greedy, because if you don't have good round awareness, you might be being greedy on round 15, and by round 15 your opponent sends you leads or some camo ceramic or some zebras. Round 15 they can send you a lot. Round 13 they can send you a lot. Round 18 you might get up your factory by round 18, but then they send you a Moab, and you can't defend that Moab without selling your factory. So there was no point of being greedy that whole time if you're going to sell your factory around 18. So if you're being greedy, make sure you know which round it is, and make sure you have an idea of what you want to do to micro, because greed and no micro do not mix. Not to say that Gia's micro is awful, but it wasn't as good as what I had. It wasn't as good as what he needed to defend my rushes on A game. And it's for and also, when your opponent knows, when you're facing somebody good and they know you have a certain tower, they typically know how to counter that tower. So you shouldn't try to micro the same defense twice, especially when you've seen your opponent give you a certain rush. Because I rushed him with the camo special twice, so he should have known with the second time I rushed him I was probably going to do it again. There's a lot of this game is knowing your opponent and knowing how smart they are and what they're going to do to you if you do something. And I'm pretty smart at this game. I know not to rush a cannon with regular balloons. I know to put in some camos in there. So I did that and I beat him A game. And as for Hydro, Hydro's round 13. Hydro's just a throw up in the air unless you have a really good strat. But 9 times out of 10, if you pick Hydro, you're hoping you can either beat your opponent on round 13 or he doesn't really know how to play Hydro well. And I know how to play Hydro pretty good, so it just didn't work as well, especially when you go eco. When you go eco, you really have to be on your game, because eco on Hydro might sound like your opponent will leak a lot, but if your opponent knows how to over defend, then it's really easy to survive till round 13, then rush you on round 13. But all in all, Gia didn't play that bad. He got the points to get the Night Series, so he was some kind of good. He sent some good rushes. He made me leak. He countered my rushes pretty well. When I sent him the first camo special, it didn't work as well. and that's because his micro was a bit on point. So Gia did play pretty well. I'll say that much. He just has to watch out with the greed and not knowing what round it was to build defense on. Because if I'm going to be greedy, I'm going to make sure that I save up some money for round 15, round 18, and round 13. Because those are the big rounds. And I make sure I'm ready to sell a farm or two to build a quick defense. So I think that's all I got. Once again, GG Gia, and hope you'll challenge me again soon. Not soon, later. Don't challenge me soon. GG. Bye bye, everybody. Go to sleep.